They didn't choose you. They walked away. She forgot you. They laughed. They closed the doors and left you standing in the cold. But what they never understood is that some destinies are not given. They are forged. Not in praise, not in applause, not in comfort, but in rejection, in silence, in the unbearable ache of being left behind. Welcome to Chill Then Conquer. This is not for the soft-hearted. This is for those who were meant to be broken, so that they could come back as something unbreakable. They called you too much. Then they called you not enough. Too intense, too quiet, too emotional, too stoic, too complicated, too boring. They told you in 1,000 ways that you didn't belong. And for a while, you believed them. You shrank. You played small. You buried your flames so deep you couldn't feel your own warmth. But then, something stirred. It wasn't anger. It wasn't revenge. It was awakening.
The pain didn't destroy you. It chiseled you. And in that moment of absolute isolation, you didn't just survive. You were born. Because here's the truth they won't tell you. The chosen one is never chosen by others. He is chosen by fate. And fate never whispers. It strikes. With betrayal. With rejection. With silence. Each scar, a secret sigil. Each no, another hammer hit on the sword you are becoming. You thought they turned their backs on you? No, brother. Fate turned your face toward the fire. Not to burn you, to forge you. So now you walk differently. You speak less. You smile with distance, because you know something they don't. You've been to the place beneath the silence. You've faced the abyss and didn't flinch. You've sat in the darkness long enough to hear your true voice whisper, "You are not like them." You are the anomaly, the fracture in the pattern, the myth that survived, the one who was cut out of the crowd, not to be destroyed, but to be raised alone. There's a reason the wolves howl at night. It's not to be heard. It's to remind the stars, I'm still out here, and so are you. But this is just the beginning. Because the world still thinks you're broken. They don't know what's coming. They don't know that you're no longer waiting to be accepted. You're becoming the storm they never saw coming. In the next part, we'll go deeper into the fire. What exactly is being forged in you, and why? But before we get there, let me leave you with this question. What if the reason they rejected you was because something ancient in you terrified the crowd? To those who were cut out, you weren't broken, you were selected. Forged in Rejection, Part 2. Why the Fire Chose You. They didn't just walk away, they walked away when you needed them most. And you still survived. That wasn't weakness. That was a trial. That was the fire choosing its metal. Some men are shaped by love, others are shaped by approval, but a rare few are carved by absence, by silence, by doors that never opened. You were never supposed to fit in. You were meant to stand apart. That ache you carry in your chest, that's not a wound, it's a mark, an ancient call, a reminder that you were forged, not formed. They want you to believe you're damaged. They want you to stay unsure. But the truth is simpler and much more dangerous. You are not what they expected. You are what they feared. Because there is power in the man who no longer waits. Power in the man who builds in the shadows. Power in the man who needs no audience. That's who you're becoming. The rejection didn't ruin you. It revealed you. It stripped away the roles, the masks, the desperation. And in the ashes, something else rose. You. Not the version shaped by others, not the man they wanted you to be, but the one who walks now without apology, without explanation, without fear. A man who doesn't chase, a man who watches, a man who builds. Not to impress, but to prepare.
Because one day, the very people who dismissed you will speak your name with confusion, with longing, with awe. And you will not turn around, not out of revenge, but because you've outgrown the very world that once tried to contain you. This is not about becoming cold. This is about becoming clear, sharp, silent, precise. This is what the fire makes of men who do not run, who do not explain, who do not beg to be seen. They rise. And when they rise, they are no longer seeking anything. They become the thing that is sought. So now the question is no longer why they left you behind. The question is, what will you do now that no one is stopping you? This is where most men fall back asleep. They get a taste of power, and they trade it for comfort, for validation, for another empty embrace. But you were forged differently. You felt the sting, and instead of collapsing, you stepped into the flame. Now you're walking with something in your eyes they won't understand. A knowing, a stillness, a storm behind the silence. This is what happens when rejection becomes birth, when being cast out becomes calling, and when you stop chasing and start carving the world with your absence. They thought they broke you, but what they did was unleash something ancient. In the next part, we'll go further, into the rules of this new self, the code you must follow to never fall again. The chosen rises from the ash. They thought it was over. They thought the silence would consume you, that the fire would eat your bones and leave nothing behind. But the ones who are truly chosen, they do not burn, they forge. There is a death no one sees, a private extinction. When your name is no longer spoken, when the door closes and no hand reaches for you, that is when the ritual begins. The chosen man is not born in light. He is born in ash, alone, forgotten, stripped of everything he thought made him. The title doesn't come from applause. It comes from the echo that answers nothing. You thought you were broken? Good. You had to be. No man becomes sovereign while he still believes he is owed something. They walked away. She walked away. And the silence that followed? That was your coronation. No priest, no crown, no ceremony, just fire, silence, and the long night. And in that night, if you stayed, if you endured the nothing, if you faced the screams that came not from others but from your own chest, then you already know. The man who rises from his own ash is not the same man who fell into the fire.
He's not interested in proving anymore, not chasing, not asking. He watches, he walks, he builds. You see him and think he's cold. He's not. He's clear. His emotions aren't gone. They're just no longer your business. He doesn't speak as much anymore, not because he has nothing to say, but because most won't understand the language of men who died and returned. He looks normal, but he's not. He carries a code now, forged in silence, bound in rejection, sharpened by solitude. He is not waiting, he is not hoping, he is not angry. He is becoming. You won't hear him coming, because he doesn't need you to hear. You won't see him post his wounds because they're no longer wounds. They're scars, and he has turned them into armor. They said he was done, but they didn't realize he wasn't buried. He was planted. This is the season of growth in silence. This is where he begins again, not as a victim, not as a memory, but as myth. And when he rises, he will not announce it. He will not shout. The world will simply feel it. The shift, the change in the wind, the presence in the room, the return of someone who no longer needs to be seen to be real. If you've felt it, if you've been there in the silence,
If you've stared into nothing and heard something whisper back, you already know. Maybe it was never the applause you needed. Maybe it was the ash. And if that's where you are now, good. Don't run from it. Sit in it. Let the world forget you, ignore you, underestimate you. Because the chosen are not found. They rise. And the world will only realize it when it's too late to stop them. This is Chill Then Conquer. Subscribe if you feel it. If this stirred something in you, if part of you whispered, "This is me." What do you do when the world tries to pull you back into the fire you just escaped?